The ship was falling. Do-hyun could see the flames outside his window. Red and orange fire covered everything. The alarms were screaming. The lights were flashing. He pulled the controls hard, but nothing worked. The engine was dead. "Come on," he said to himself. "Come on, come on." He was just a cargo pilot. He carried food and medicine to small planets. He was not a soldier. He was not a hero. He was just a man who wanted to make enough money to buy a small house on Earth someday. But now he was going to die on a planet he had never heard of before. The ground came fast. Do-hyun closed his eyes and held tight. The ship hit the ground with a terrible sound. Metal broke. Glass shattered. He felt pain everywhere. Then everything went black. When he opened his eyes, he did not know how much time had passed. Maybe minutes. Maybe hours. His head hurt. His arm was bleeding. But he was alive. Do-hyun looked around. His ship was broken. The front part was crushed. Smoke was coming from the engine. But the main body was still in one piece. He could fix it, maybe. If he had time, he climbed out of the broken window and fell onto the ground. The air was strange. It smelled like smoke and something sweet, like flowers. He looked up at the sky. It was purple. 2 moons hung in the sky, one big and one small. "Where am I?" He whispered. He checked his computer. It still worked a little. The screen showed him the name of the planet, Valari. He had heard of it before. It was a planet at war. Different groups were fighting for control. The Galactic Union had told all ships to stay away, but his engine had failed. He had no choice about where he landed. Do-hyun looked at his ship again. The damage was bad, but not impossible to fix. He needed about 3 days. Maybe 4. He had tools. He had some parts. He could do it. He started working. The sun moved across the purple sky. He fixed wires. He replaced broken pieces. He worked until his hands hurt and his back ached. When night came, he made a small fire near his ship. He ate some food from his supplies. It was not good food, just dry bread and some fruit paste. But it was enough. He was about to sleep when he heard something. Footsteps. Many footsteps. Coming closer. Do-hyun grabbed his small gun. It was not a powerful weapon. It was just for protection against animals. But it was all he had. From the darkness, people appeared. They were not human. They were taller than him. Their skin was pale blue. Their eyes were large and golden. They wore armor that looked old but strong. They carried weapons that looked sharp and dangerous. There were maybe 20 of them. They surrounded his ship. Do-hyun knew he had no chance if they wanted to hurt him. Then she walked forward. She was the most beautiful woman Do-hyun had ever seen. Her skin was the same pale blue, but it seemed to glow in the moonlight. Her hair was long and white, falling down her back like water. Her golden eyes looked at him with curiosity and something else. Something like sadness. She wore armor too, but hers was different. It was decorated with symbols. It looked like the armor of a leader. She said something in a language he did not understand. Her voice was soft but strong. Do-hyun shook his head. "I don't understand," he said. "I'm human. From Earth, my ship crashed. I'm not here to fight." She tilted her head. Then she touched a small device on her wrist. When she spoke again, he could understand her. "Human?" she said. "You are far from your home." "I know," Do-hyun said. "My engine broke. I just need a few days to fix my ship. Then I'll leave. I don't want any trouble." She looked at his ship. Her eyes moved slowly over the damage. Then she looked back at him. "I am Yuna," she said. "I lead the last free army of Valari." Do-hyun lowered his gun. "I'm Do-hyun. I'm just a cargo pilot. Yuna walked closer to him. She was tall, almost a head taller than him. Up close, he could see scars on her arms. Battle scars. She had fought many times. You landed in the middle of a war, Do-hyun the cargo pilot, she said. The enemy will see your ship. They will come. I'll be gone before that, he said. Yuna shook her head slowly. You do not understand. The enemy has ships that watch the sky. They already know you are here. They will come tomorrow, maybe the day after. They will take your ship. They will kill you. Do-hyun felt cold fear in his stomach. Then what should I do? Yuna looked at him for a long moment. Her golden eyes seemed to look deep inside him. Come with us, she said. We have a camp in the mountains. It is hidden. You can fix your ship there. Why would you help me? Do-hyun asked. You don't know me. Yuna smiled. It was a small smile, sad but real. Because you are alone, she said. And we know what it feels like to be alone in a war. She turned and started walking. Her soldiers followed. Do-hyun looked at his broken ship. He could not move it. But maybe he could carry the important parts. He worked fast. He took the engine core, the navigation computer, and his tools. He put everything in a bag and ran after Yuna and her soldiers. They walked through the night. The path went up into the mountains. It was hard to walk. Do-hyun was tired and hurt, but he did not stop. Yuna walked beside him sometimes. She did not talk much, but she watched him. When he fell once, she caught his arm and helped him stand. Thank you, he said. Save your thanks, she said. You will need your strength. By morning, they reached the camp. It was hidden in a valley between two tall mountains. There were tents and small buildings. Do-hyun saw people everywhere. Soldiers, but also families, children, old people. This is what remains of my people, Yuna said. 10,000 souls. Once we were millions. Do-hyun looked at the camp. These people had lost everything. Their homes, their families, their world. But they were still alive, still fighting. I'm sorry, he said quietly. Yuna looked at him. Her golden eyes were soft. You are a strange human, Do-hyun, she said. Most people who crash on a war planet think only about themselves. But you feel sorry for us. She pointed to a small tent. You can rest there. Tomorrow, you can start fixing your ship. Do-hyun walked to the tent. He was so tired. His body hurt everywhere. But before he slept, he looked back at Yuna. She was standing on a rock, looking at the sky. The morning sun made her white hair shine. He did not know why, but he felt something in his chest. Something warm. Something he had not felt in a long time. Then he lay down and closed his eyes. Tomorrow would be a new day, and he had a ship to fix. The next 2 days were the busiest of Do-hyun's life. He worked on his ship from sunrise to sunset. But now he was not working alone. Yuna was with him every moment, learning everything about the ship. She was a fast learner, much faster than he expected. Her hands moved over the controls like she had been flying human ships her whole life. Her golden eyes missed nothing. She asked questions about everything, and she never forgot an answer. This controls the speed? She asked, pointing to a lever. Yes. Push it forward to go faster. Pull it back to slow down. And this? She pointed to a row of buttons. Those control the shields. The left one turns them on. The middle one makes them stronger in front. The right one makes them stronger behind. Yuna repeated everything back to him perfectly. She practiced the movements over and over until they became natural. At night, they sat together outside the ship. Do-hyun made small fires, and they talked. He told her about Earth, about the blue sky and the green trees, about the oceans that stretched forever, about the cities full of millions of people. It sounds beautiful, Yuna said. It is, Do-hyun agreed. But it has problems too. Pollution, war, greed. We're not perfect. No one is perfect, Yuna said. But your people have done something special. You have gone to the stars. You have met other peoples. You have found ways to live together. Do-hyun laughed softly. It wasn't easy. We had a lot of wars first. A lot of pain. But we learned, slowly. Yuna looked up at the stars. I wonder if my people will ever reach the stars. If we survive this war, you will survive, Do-hyun said. You're too strong to lose. Yuna smiled at him. It was a real smile, not the sad one she usually wore. In the firelight, she looked even more beautiful than before. Her white hair glowed orange. Her blue skin seemed warm. You give me strength, human, she said quietly. You do not even know it, but you do. On the second night, soldiers came with bad news. The enemy was moving faster. They had found one of the hidden paths to the mountains. They would reach the camp in 10 days, maybe less. Yuna stood up immediately. We must move faster, she said. The ship must fly tomorrow. It's not ready, Do-hyun said. I need one more day. We do not have one more day. Do-hyun thought for a moment. Then he nodded. Then I'll work through the night. I'll make it ready. Yuna looked at him. You have already done so much. You should rest. I'll rest when your people are safe, Do-hyun said. He worked all night. His hands became sore. His eyes became heavy. But he did not stop. Yuna stayed with him, helping where she could, watching where she could not. Sometime in the dark hours of the morning, she fell asleep sitting next to him. Her head rested against the wall of the ship. She looked peaceful when she slept, younger. The weight of the war seemed to leave her face. Do-hyun put his jacket over her shoulders and kept working. When the sun came up, the ship was ready. It was not perfect. Some things were held together with tape and hope. But it would fly. It would be fast enough. Do-hyun woke Yuna gently. It's time, he said. She opened her eyes and looked at him. For a moment, she just looked at him, like she was trying to remember his face. Thank you, she said softly. For the jacket. It got cold, Do-hyun said. I didn't want you to be uncomfortable. Yuna stood up. She looked at the ship. Her ship now. The ship that might save her people or become her grave. I am afraid, she admitted. I have fought in many battles. I have almost died many times. But I have never been so afraid. Fear is normal, Do-hyun said. It means you understand what you're doing. But you can be afraid and brave at the same time. That's what real courage is. Yuna turned to him. Where did you learn such wisdom, cargo pilot? Do-hyun smiled. From my mother. She was a teacher. She always said that brave people are not people who feel no fear. They are people who feel fear, but act anyway. Your mother sounds like a wise woman. She was, Do-hyun said. She died a few years ago, but I still hear her voice sometimes. In my head, telling me to do the right thing. Yuna reached out and took his hand. Then she is with you now. And she will be with me too, when I fly. The whole camp came to see Yuna leave. 10,000 people stood watching as she walked to the ship. Children threw flowers at her feet. Old people bowed their heads in respect. Soldiers saluted. Yuna stopped at the door of the ship. She turned to face her people. Today I fly for all of us, she said. Her voice was strong and clear. For those who died. For those who still live. For those not yet born. I fly for Valari. And I fly for our new friend. The human who gave us hope when we had none. She looked at Do-hyun. The crowd looked at him too. He felt embarrassed. He was not used to being looked at by so many people. Do-hyun of Earth, Yuna continued. You gave us everything you had. You asked for nothing in return. My people will never forget you. I will never forget you. She walked to him through the crowd. People moved aside to let her pass. She stopped in front of him. I have something for you, she said. She reached up and took a necklace from around her neck. It was a simple chain with a small stone. The stone was dark blue, almost black, but there were tiny lights inside it, like stars. This belonged to my mother, Yuna said, and her mother before her, and her mother before that. It has been in my family for 1,000 years. It is the most precious thing I own. She put the necklace in his hand. I cannot take this, Doyen said. It's your family's treasure. You are part of my family now, Yuna said. The moment you gave me your ship, you became part of us. This is your gift. Keep it. Remember me. Doyen looked at the necklace. The tiny lights inside the stone moved slowly, like real stars in a tiny universe. I will wear it always, he promised. Yuna smiled. Then she did something that surprised everyone, including Doyen. She put her arms around him and held him close. She pressed her face against his shoulder. He could feel her heart beating fast. If I do not come back, she whispered in his ear, live your life. Be happy. But if I do come back, I want to see those stars you told me about. I want to see Earth. I want to see your blue sky and your green trees. Then come back, Doyen whispered. Please come back. She let go of him and stepped away. Her eyes were wet, but she did not cry. She was a warrior. She had to be strong. Goodbye, Doyen of Earth, she said. Goodbye, Yuna of Valari, he answered. She turned and walked into the ship. The door closed behind her. A few moments later, the engine started. It made a sound like thunder. The ship rose slowly from the ground. It went higher and higher. The people watched in silence. Some were praying. Some were crying. Then the ship shot up into the sky. It became a dot of light. Then it was gone. Doyen stood there for a long time, looking at the empty sky. He touched the necklace in his hand. The tiny stars inside the stone seemed to glow brighter. Come back, he said to the sky. Please come back. But the sky did not answer. There was only silence and the wind. 3 days passed in the mountain camp. Doyen worked on his ship every day. The people of Valari watched him with curious eyes. They had never seen a human before. Children sometimes came close to look at him, then ran away laughing when he smiled at them. His ship was coming together slowly. The engine core was not badly damaged. The navigation system needed new parts, but he could make some from other machines. He would be able to leave soon. Maybe in 2 more days, but something felt wrong. Every day, he saw more wounded soldiers come into the camp. Every night, he heard people crying. The war was getting worse. On the 4th day, Doyen was working on his ship when Yuna came to see him. She looked tired. There were dark circles under her golden eyes. She had not slept much. How is your work going? She asked. Good, Doyen said. Maybe 2 more days, and I can fly. Yuna nodded slowly. She looked at the ship for a long time. Then she looked at him. Can I ask you something, human? Of course. How fast is your ship? Doyen thought about it. It's a cargo ship, not a fighter. But it's still pretty fast. Faster than most ships on a planet like this. Yuna was quiet for a moment. She seemed to be thinking hard about something. Come with me, she said. I want to show you something. Doyen put down his tools and followed her. They walked through the camp to a large tent. Inside, there was a table with a map. Other soldiers were there, looking worried. Yuna pointed to the map. This is Valari, she said. These red marks are the enemy. These blue marks are us. Doyen looked at the map. The red marks covered almost everything. The blue marks were only in the mountains. A small area. Very small. We are losing, Yuna said simply. In 2 weeks, maybe less, the enemy will find this camp. They will kill everyone. Men, women, children, everyone. Don felt his heart become heavy. Is there nothing you can do? Yuna pointed to a spot high above the map. There, she said. In the sky above our planet, there is a station. It was built by our ancestors 1,000 years ago. It has weapons. Powerful weapons. If we could turn them on, we could destroy the enemy fleet. We could win this war. Then why haven't you done that? Do-hyun asked. Because we cannot reach it, Yuna said. The enemy controls the sky. Any ship we send is shot down before it gets close. We have tried 5 times. 5 ships. All destroyed. She looked at Do-hyun with her golden eyes. They were full of pain. Your ship is different, she said. It is human technology. The enemy does not know human ships. Their weapons are set to find our ships, not yours. You might be able to reach the station. Do-hyun understood now. He understood why she was telling him this. You want my ship, he said quietly. Yes, Yuna said. She did not try to hide it. I am asking you to give me your ship. I know it is a terrible thing to ask. Your ship is your life. Without it, you are trapped here. But my people are dying. Children are dying. I have nothing else. I have tried everything else. She reached into her armor and pulled out a small bag. She opened it and showed him what was inside. Jewels. Beautiful blue and green stones that glowed with inner light. These are worth much money, she said. Take them. They're all I have, please. Do-hyun looked at the jewels. They were beautiful. They were probably worth more money than he would make in 10 years of flying cargo. But he looked at Yuna. He saw the tears in her eyes that she was trying to hide. He saw the way her hands shook a little. This proud, strong warrior woman was begging him. She had nothing left but her pride, and she was giving that up too. He thought about his ship. He had worked so hard for it. It was everything he owned. Without it, he had nothing. He would be stuck on this planet. He might die here. But then he thought about the children in the camp. The little ones who ran and laughed. The old people who sat in the sun and told stories. The families who held each other at night. That if he flew away with his ship, they would all die. All of them. 10,000 people. And he would have to live the rest of his life knowing he could have helped, but chose not to. What kind of man would that make him? Keep your jewels, Do-hyun said. Yuna's face changed. She looked hurt. I understand, she said, her voice breaking. You need your ship. I should not have asked. I am sorry. No, Do-hyun said. You don't understand. I mean, keep your jewels because I'm not selling you my ship. He paused. I'm giving it to you. Yuna stared at him. She did not move. She did not speak. She just stared at him like she did not understand his words. What? She whispered. You can have my ship, Do-hyun said. For free. No payment. I'll finish fixing it, and then it's yours. But, why? Yuna's voice was shaking. You do not know us. We are not your people. Why would you do this? Do-hyun smiled a little. Because it's the right thing to do. Yuna shook her head. I do not understand you, human. In my experience, people do not give away their lives for strangers. There must be something you want. I want those children to grow up, Do-hyun said. I want those families to have a future. That's what I want. He looked at the map, at all those red marks. Back on Earth, we have a saying. When you see someone who needs help, and you can help them, you help them. That's what makes us human. Yuna was crying now. The tears ran down her blue cheeks. She did not try to stop them anymore. I have fought in this war for 10 years, she said. I have seen terrible things. I have lost everyone I loved. My mother, my father, my sisters, my friends. I thought I knew what courage was. I thought I had seen everything. She looked at Do-hyun with something like wonder in her eyes. But I have never seen anything like you. A stranger who gives everything for people he does not know, who wants nothing in return. She stepped closer to him. She was so close he could feel the warmth from her body. Your people, she said softly. Humans, are they all like you? Do-hyun laughed a little. No, he said honestly. Some humans are terrible. Some are greedy and cruel. But some of us try to be good. We try to help when we can. Yuna reached out and touched his face. Her hand was warm and soft. Then your people give me hope, she said. If there are others like you in the universe, then maybe the universe is not as dark as I thought. The other soldiers in the tent were watching. Some of them had tears in their eyes too. They had heard everything. I will fly the ship myself, Yuna said. It is dangerous. I might not come back. But if I can reach the station, I can save my people. You know how to fly? Do-hyun asked. I learned when I was young. Before the war. She smiled sadly. I was going to be a pilot. I wanted to see the stars. But then the enemy came, and I had to become a soldier instead. Do-hyun nodded. Then I'll teach you my ship. It's not hard to fly. I'll show you everything. Yuna took his hands in hers. Thank you, Do-hyun. I do not have words for what I feel. In my language, there is no word big enough. You don't need words, Do-hyun said. Just save your people. That's enough for me. They stood there, holding hands in the middle of the war tent. Outside, the sun was setting. The purple sky was turning dark. Another night was coming, but for the first time in a long time, Yuna felt something she had almost forgotten. Hope. The hours after Yuna left were the longest hours of Do-hyun's life. He sat on a rock near the edge of the camp, watching the sky. The people of Valari watched with him. No one spoke. No one moved. They just waited. The sun moved across the purple sky. Morning became afternoon. Afternoon became evening. Still nothing. No signal. No word. Just silence. Do-hyun held the necklace Yuna had given him. He looked at the tiny stars inside the dark stone. They seemed to move faster now, spinning in tiny circles. He wondered if that meant something. An old woman came and sat next to him. Her skin was pale blue, almost gray with age. Her golden eyes were cloudy, but she smiled at him with kindness. You love her, the old woman said. It was not a question. Do-hyun did not know what to say. He had only known Yuna for a few days. But the old woman was right. Somewhere in those days, something had changed. Something had grown in his heart. Is it strange? He asked. To love someone from another world? The old woman shook her head. Love is never strange. Love is the most natural thing in all the worlds. When two hearts recognize each other, distance does not matter. Species does not matter. Only the heart matters. She might not come back, Do-hyun said quietly. She will come back, the old woman said with certainty. I have watched Yuna since she was a child. She always keeps her promises. And she has not said goodbye to you yet. Not really. Do-hyun looked at the old woman. How do you know? Because I am her grandmother. Do-hyun was surprised. Her grandmother? I thought. She said her family was dead. The old woman smiled sadly. Her mother and father died. Her sisters died. But I am still here. I am too old to die. Death has forgotten about me. She put her wrinkled hand on Do-hyun's arm. Thank you, young human. Thank you for giving my granddaughter hope. She had lost it, you know? She was fighting, but she had stopped believing she could win. You gave her back her faith. I didn't do anything special, Do-hyun said. I just did what anyone would do. No, the old woman said firmly. Most people would not. Most people would fly away and save themselves. You chose to stay. You chose to help. That is special. That is rare. That is precious. She looked up at the sky. Now we wait. And we hope. Night came. The stars appeared in the purple sky. Thousands of stars, millions of stars, more than anyone could count. Somewhere up there, Yuna was flying. Somewhere up there, she was fighting for her people. Daihan did not sleep. He could not sleep. He sat on his rock and watched the sky all night. Other people brought him food, but he barely ate. They brought him blankets, but he barely felt the cold. He just watched. And waited. And hoped. The night grew darker. The moons rose and fell. The stars turned slowly in the sky. And then, just before dawn, something happened. A bright light appeared in the sky. Not a star. Something bigger. Something moving. People started shouting. They ran out of their tents. They pointed at the sky. The light was getting bigger. It was coming down. Is it her? Someone shouted. I can't tell. Another answered. Du-hyun stood up. His heart was beating so fast he could hear it in his ears. He watched the light fall through the sky. It was not falling like a ship in trouble. It was falling in a controlled way, like a ship landing. And then through the clouds, he saw it. His ship, his beautiful, broken, patched-together ship. It was flying. And it was coming home. The people of Villari started crying with joy. They hugged each other. They fell to their knees in thanks. They danced and laughed and shouted. But Do-hyun did not move. He just stood there, watching the ship come closer. His eyes were wet, but he did not care. He did not care about anything except seeing her again. The ship landed in the same place it had been before. The engine went quiet. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the door opened. Yuna walked out. She was hurt. Do-hyun could see that right away. Her armor was broken in places. There was blood on her face. She walked slowly, like every step hurt. But she was alive. She was alive. She looked around at her people, at their joyful faces, at their tears of happiness. She smiled. It is done, she said. Her voice was tired but strong. The station is active. The weapons are online. The enemy fleet is destroyed. The crowd exploded. People screamed with joy. They rushed toward her, wanting to touch her, to thank her, to celebrate. But Yuna held up her hand. The crowd stopped. Wait, she said. There is something I must do first. She walked through the crowd. Her golden eyes searched for one face. When she found it, she stopped. She was standing in front of Do-hyun. They looked at each other. They did not speak. They did not need to. Everything they wanted to say was in their eyes. Yuna reached out and touched his face. Her hand was warm, despite everything she had been through. I kept my promise, she said softly. I came back. You did, Do-hyun said. His voice was breaking. You really did. Yuna took his hand and put it on her heart. He could feel it beating, strong and steady. This heart beats because of you, she said. Without your ship, without your kindness, without your hope, I would have given up long ago. You saved me, Do-hyun. Not just today. Every day since I met you. Do-hyun shook his head. I didn't save you. You saved yourself. You saved your people. I just helped a little. Yuna laughed. It was a beautiful sound, full of joy and relief and something else. Something warm. Humans, she said. You do great things and then pretend they are small. Is this how all your people are? Maybe, Do-yoon said with a small smile. Yuna stepped closer. She was so close now that he could see the tiny scars on her face, the light in her golden eyes, the curve of her lips. I have to tell you something, she said. Something important. What? When I was flying, when I reached the station, there was a moment. The enemy almost caught me. I thought I was going to die. And in that moment, I thought of you. She put her hand on his chest, over his heart. Not of my people. Not of my duty. I thought of you. I thought about how I never got to tell you how I feel. I thought about all the things I wanted to say, but never said. Her eyes looked into his. I love you, Do-yoon. I know it sounds crazy. I know we have only known each other for a few days. But I love you. My heart recognized you the moment I saw you. And I want to be with you. Wherever you go, whatever happens, I want to be with you. Do-yoon could not speak. His heart was too full. His throat was too tight. He tried to say something, anything, but no words came out, so instead, he did what his heart told him to do. He put his arms around her and held her tight. He held her like he never wanted to let go, because he did not want to let go, ever. Yuna held him back. She buried her face in his shoulder. He could feel her tears on his skin. Then she pulled back a little. She looked at him with those golden eyes. And she smiled. I promised to return your ship, she said. But I have something better than a ship to offer you now. What's that? Do-yoon asked. Yuna leaned forward and pressed her lips to his. The kiss was soft and warm and full of all the feelings they had been holding inside. Time stopped. The world disappeared. There was only the two of them, holding each other in the first light of dawn. When the kiss ended, Yuna put her forehead against his. Me, she whispered. I offer you me. My heart. My life. My future, if you want it. Do-yoon smiled. For the first time in his life, he felt like he was exactly where he was supposed to be. I want it, he said. I want all of it. I want you. They kissed again, and the people of Valari cheered around them. The sun was rising. A new day was beginning, and for Do-yoon and Yuna, a new life was beginning too. 3 years had passed since the war ended on Valari. Do-yoon sometimes thought about those days. They felt like a dream now. A beautiful, terrible, wonderful dream. After the enemy fleet was destroyed, the war changed quickly. Without their ships, the invaders lost their power. Within 6 months, they surrendered. Within a year, they left Valari completely. The people rebuilt their world. Cities rose from the ashes. Families returned to their homes. Children played in streets that had once been battlefields. Life returned to Valari, and Yuna became queen. Do-yoon had not expected that. He knew she was a warrior, a leader, a hero. But he did not know she was also the last member of the royal family. Her mother had been a princess. Her grandmother had been a queen. Now that the war was over, the people wanted Yuna to lead them in peace as she had led them in war. She did not want to be queen at first. She told Do-yoon that she was tired of responsibility. She wanted to travel the stars with him. She wanted to see Earth. She wanted to be free. But her grandmother talked to her. The old woman who had sat with Do-yoon that long night spoke to Yuna about duty and love. She told Yuna that being a leader was not a burden. It was a gift. A chance to make the world better. In the end, Yuna agreed. She would be queen. But she made one condition. She would not do it alone. She wanted Do-yoon by her side. The people of Valari were not sure about this at first. A human as their queen's partner? A stranger from another world? Some worried it was wrong. Some worried what other peoples would think. But then they remembered. They remembered who had given them hope when they had none. Who had given his ship without asking for anything. who had made their victory possible. The people voted. The decision was almost unanimous. Do-hyun was welcome. Do-hyun was family. Do-hyun was one of them. For 2 years, Do-hyun lived on Valari as Yuna's husband. They were married in a beautiful ceremony under the purple sky. Thousands of people came. The celebration lasted for 3 days. Those were good years. Happy years. Do-hyun helped with the rebuilding. He taught the people of Valari about human technology. He learned their language, their customs, their history. He became part of their world. But sometimes, late at night, he thought about Earth. He thought about the blue sky he had not seen so long. The green trees. The smell of rain on grass. He missed it. Yuna knew. She always knew what he was feeling. It was like she could read his heart. "You miss your home," she said one night as they lay together. "Yes," Do-hyun admitted. "But I love it here too." "I love you." "Love does not mean staying in one place," Yuna said. "Love means being together, wherever we are." She turned to face him. Her golden eyes were soft in the moonlight. "Let's go," she said. "Let's see the stars together. Like I promised." Do-hyun was surprised. "But your people need you. You're their queen." "My people are strong," Yuna said. "They can manage without me for a while. And my grandmother is still here. She can watch over things." She smiled. "Besides, a queen who has never seen the universe is not a very good queen. How can I lead my people to the stars if I have never been there myself?" So they went. They got on the ship, the same ship Do-hyun had given away years ago, the ship that had saved a world. It had been repaired and improved, but it was still the same ship at heart. They flew together through space. They visited strange planets and met strange peoples. They saw wonders that Do-hyun had never imagined. Giant clouds of glowing gas where stars were being born. Rings of ice around purple planets. Cities floating in the sky. And finally, after many months of traveling, they reached Earth. Do-hyun cried when he saw it. That beautiful blue and green ball hanging in the darkness of space. Home. They landed in a field near the town where Do-hyun had grown up. It was evening. The sun was setting, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink. Yuna stepped out of the ship and stopped. She just stood there, staring. "It's beautiful," she whispered. "More beautiful than I imagined." Do-hyun took her hand. "Welcome to Earth." They walked through the field together. The grass was soft under their feet. The air smelled like flowers and earth and life. Birds were singing in the trees. Yuna touched everything. She touched the grass. She touched the leaves. She put her hands in a small stream and laughed at how cold the water was. "Is all of Earth like this?" she asked. "No," Do-hyun said. "There are many different places. Deserts, mountains, oceans, cities, forests. Every place is different." "I want to see everything," Yuna said. "We have time," Do-hyun said. "We have all the time in the world." They stayed on Earth for 3 months. They traveled everywhere. They saw the ocean for the first time, and Yuna stood in the waves for hours, amazed by how big it was. They climbed mountains and looked out at landscapes that stretched forever. They walked through cities full of millions of people who stopped and stared at the beautiful blue woman with golden eyes. News of Yuna spread quickly. A queen from another world. A hero who had saved her people. A woman who had fallen in love with a simple cargo pilot from Earth. The story became famous. People wanted to meet her. Scientists wanted to study her. Politicians wanted to talk to her. But Yuna was patient with all of them. She answered their questions. She shared her knowledge. She made friends. By the time they left Earth, relations between humans and the people of Valari had changed forever. Trade agreements were signed. Cultural exchanges began. Students from Earth went to study on Valari, and students from Valari came to Earth, all because a cargo pilot crashed his ship on a distant planet. All because he chose to give instead of take. All because he saw people who needed help and decided to help them. On their last night on Earth, Do-hyun and Yuna stood on a hill watching the stars. They were holding hands as they often did. "Thank you," Yuna said. "For what?" "For showing me your world. For sharing your home. For everything." She leaned her head on his shoulder. "When I was a girl, I used to look up at the stars and wonder if anyone was out there. If anyone would ever come to help us. I never thought the answer would be a simple cargo pilot with a kind heart." Do-hyun laughed. "And I never thought I would marry a queen from another planet. Life is strange. Life is beautiful," Yuna said, "when you share it with the right person." They stood there in silence for a while, watching the stars turn slowly in the sky. The same stars that Do-hyun had traveled through. The same stars that Yuna had grown up looking at from her faraway world. Different worlds. Different people. But the same heart. "Are you ready to go home?" Do-hyun asked. Yuna looked at him and smiled. Her golden eyes were full of love. "I am home," she said. "Wherever you are, that is my home." She kissed him softly. And then they walked back to their ship together, ready for the next adventure. Ready for whatever the universe had in store for them, because they had learned the most important lesson of all. Home is not a place. Home is a person. And when you find that person, you have found everything. The ship rose into the night sky. It became a dot of light among the stars. And then it was gone, flying toward new adventures, new wonders, new stories. But the story of Do-hyun and Yuna would be remembered. On Earth, on Valari, across the galaxy. The story of a human who gave everything for strangers. And the warrior queen who loved him for it. Some say they are still out there, flying among the stars. Still in love. Still together. Still finding new wonders in the endless universe. And maybe, just maybe, they are.